using the Thermostat 1987 Chevy Astro van. Take out the air cleaner assembly, two connectors here, air temperature sensor and mass airflow sensor, 8mm 5/16. Loosen that up and you can take this top piece off. I'll work on taking that hose off. Now if you reach inside with both hands, this is in here, if you reach in with both hands, one on each side, you should be able to get to this. There's a stud here, and this goes on top of the stud, and we'll just turn this up with our hands. You can see how it fits in there. This fits over the edge with the stud. We're going to take this off, and we have this out. We get into our thermostat housing right down there. You see you got a ground wire attached to it. I also see a vacuum hose broken. That will cause these vans to have air blowing out the defrost only. So if you fix that hose, it goes over here. You can kind of see that black hose. It connects over to this thing here. Right in there. So you find the two ends and put them together, you get your defrost and vent and heat all working again. So it looks like you get in there with a wrench and socket and take that stuff off. Got in here with our 14mm wrench, and we have broken it loose. We'll take that nut off and get the ground wire off. So get the nut off. It was like a 14mm, but now underneath that stud and nut setup is a 13mm, so I'll get that. And the other one's a little tougher to see, and that's probably the same. Probably just use a swivel, get that out. One out. So here's our setup. We got a swivel and an extension. I'm going to break this bolt loose here now. Switch to a 1/4" setup. If you need to take that bracket out, it's probably got 10mm bolts or nuts holding it. One right there, and then there might be one or two. One 10mm stud bolt there, and then there might be one or two in the back. So if you need to get that bracket out, you can. But we've got it loose and it's going to come out. So just have a new thermostat and a gasket, and we're just going to drop it down in the hole. It's just sitting there nicely in the hole now, and we'll bolt it back together. So we got both bolts in here. I'm going to start them by hand. I always recommend, whenever you can, starting things by hand, because if you start them with a wrench, sometimes you don't know your own strength and you strip, you cross thread things, so you always want to start things by hand. A good few turns. I like to do actually as many as I can, but I'll just get in there with a few turns. Make sure there's no wires caught anywhere. Alright, so we'll just put a wrench on there and tighten them up. Do not forget to put the ground wire back on there and a star nut if it's got a, or a star washer if it's got it, and tighten that down. That's pretty important ground for the computer system, so get that in there and taken care of.